If you opt out of the NHS pension, do you know what benefits you lose? If not, this video is for you, as I'm going to tell you 10 benefits of being a member of the NHS pension scheme. Towards the end of the video, I'll give you a link to a guide to the basic checks that everyone needs to make on their NHS pension. Don't forget, if you like this channel, to like and subscribe for more financial CPD for healthcare professionals, and check out the comments for all the links that I'm going to mention in this video. The first reason why opting out might not be a good idea is that opting out of the NHS pension is a pay cut to your future self. Your NHS pension is a valuable part of your overall pay and reward package. It's a form of delayed pay. You get paid for work you do now, but the NHS pension will also pay you money when you retire, and this is linked to how long you've been paying into the scheme. Unlike private pensions, the NHS pension is a guaranteed inflation-proof income for life. If you opt out of the NHS pension, it can mean that you lose out on valuable benefits now and in retirement, and I'm going to explain much more about that in detail in this video. The second reason to consider when you opt out is that you are going to miss out on employer contributions. If you opt out of the NHS pension scheme, you could miss out on substantial contributions to your pension from your employer. So if you're an employee of a trust, a GP practice, or another approved NHS pensions employer, or alternatively a locum, then the employer contribution is paid by the employer or the practice that you locum at. It's worth pointing out at this stage that if you're a GP partner like me, you get to pay the employer and the employee contribution yourself. Just one of the many benefits of being a GP in the modern NHS. Reason number 3, you are sacrificing a guaranteed lifetime income. One of the main advantages of NHS pension, in my view, is that it's a government-backed income for life in retirement, which is uplifted each year by inflation. By opting out, you reduce this guaranteed income. If you're not sure about how your pension's getting on or how much you're going to get and what the basic checks that everybody needs to perform on their NHS pension, then we've made a guide, and the link to download that is in the show notes below. Reason number 4, it's an inflation-proof retirement income growth. So the NHS pension scheme adjusts your pension pot to account for inflation, plus a further 1.5% in some parts of the scheme, like the 2015 scheme. And this ensures that your purchasing power is maintained, protected from inflation. However, if you opt out of the NHS pension, you could lose some of this benefit. Reason number 5, and this is a big one, no investment risk with the NHS pension. So, unlike private pension, the NHS pension does not rely on the performance of the stock market. And unlike private pensions, in the NHS pension, there is no pot of money to run out. Instead, the NHS pension will pay you a state-backed guaranteed income for life in retirement. You do not have to worry about the performance of the stock market, and you do not have to worry about your pot running out, which would both be concerns if you had a private pension. Reason number 6. Impact on dependent benefits. Opting out of the NHS pension not only affects your own retirement income, but it has implications for your dependents. By staying within the scheme, your legal spouse, registered civil partner, qualifying scheme partner, and dependent children may receive an enhanced income after your passing, offering them additional financial security. Put a link to an article on the Medics Money website which explains this in a bit more detail, and it was written during COVID for obvious reasons. Number 7 reason not to opt out is the potential loss of lump sum death benefits. Number 6 and number 7 are pretty cheery, sorry about this, and we have to talk about it because in addition to the dependent's income that I mentioned in number 6, your loved ones may be entitled to a tax-free lump sum payment from your NHS pension when you die. If you opt out of the NHS pension, it could result in reduced benefits for your dependents, and there's more information in that article that I mentioned in tip 6, so that's some cheery reading. Again, with the cheery stuff, and kind of relevant to my current predicament, as you may have noticed, number 8, the NHS pension can protect you against ill health financial problems. So the NHS pension provides a guaranteed inflation-proof income for life in the event of permanent ill health, with enhanced benefits for more serious illnesses, and you might have heard this referred to as tier 1 and tier 2. Opting out could mean reducing this incredibly valuable protection. Number 9, and this is a bit of a difficult one, is that you can't afford the contributions. There is a cost of living crisis on, and with real terms pay cuts for doctors, nurses and other healthcare professionals, and as doctors ourselves, we get it. Every penny counts at the moment, and those employee contributions can mount up. And if you are struggling financially, my sympathies that unfortunately as a nation we've decided that we do not want to pay healthcare professionals who do difficult and valuable work helping patients to get better every single day. We don't want to pay them enough that they can afford to contribute to their pension. And if you're not aware of what's going on in that sphere at the moment, it's worth having a read around the reasons why the nurses are on strike, the junior doctors are on strike, and the consultants are balloting. If you can't afford the contributions, you just need to be aware that you are losing out on significant benefits that we already mentioned and the family protection. One thing that could help you to get a few more pennies in the bank is to use our free guide to claim a tax rebate on the mandatory fees that as healthcare professionals we have to pay. So I pay money to the BMA, the Royal College of GPs. If you're a nurse, you pay money to the Royal College of Nursing. You can get a tax rebate on that, and our tax guides have been downloaded by over 40,000 healthcare professionals. So if you are looking to squeak out a few extra pennies and save a bit of tax, I'll put the link to our free guide down below, and maybe that will help you with the financial stress you're under. Number 10, consider in detail the tax implications. It is important to consider the tax implications when opting out of the NHS pension. Pension contributions are what's called a tax deductible expense. So paying into the pension scheme can reduce your tax by anything from 20 to 60% multiplied by the contributions you pay. And of course, this depends on your earning levels. So while higher taxes may arise for higher earners due to the annual allowance, recent, and I do mean recent, as in March 2023, government changes to the pension tax rules have changed everything. And if you haven't had a look at your pensions tax situation since March 2023, you really need to. So if you want to just know about these changes in detail, we have a video about all of the 2023 changes, and it's really worth a watch because so much has changed, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes down below. So you've watched the video and you're wondering where to start. At an absolute minimum, you need to perform the basic checks on your NHS pension that's outlined in our guide linked in the show notes. If you're worried about pension tax bills and you're not aware of the significant changes that happened in March 2023, then you need to watch that video. I hope that helps. If you subscribe to the channel for more content like this, that really helps us to grow. Although our podcast is approaching 750,000 downloads, we're pretty new to YouTube, and if you have any questions or feedback in the comments, that really helps us to make the content that you find useful and help you to improve your own financial health. See you on next week's video.